Okay.
All right, hold up. All right, so
Well,
we're live. We're live, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RSN Wrestling Podcast. This is the mastermind here, Sal, and
There's the big
with I've
guy,
been made by
Rich.
How's it going, everybody? This is RSN Wrestling Podcast. We're here basically to talk about the Summerslam pay-per-view that's happening right now in Brooklyn, New York, in the Barclays Center. Before we start, I want to address something. This is regarding last night. We did a takeover podcast preview talking about, basically our thoughts, doing a preview about it. And supposedly it was brought to my attention by, of course, the big guy, Rich, that we got taken down with a copyright notice. This is about, I think, 5 minutes after we posted it up?
Just about, because
Not even, right?
I think the first match was happening yesterday.
It's crazy. When you told me that, I flipped the hell out. I couldn't believe it because I put the work in for that, to put in that, to do that whole slideshow. I know we put in the work because we spent our time, we put our energy in this, and what ended up happening was it got ultimately taken down. And as a result, you, the audience, couldn't see our what we did, even if you didn't join us for a live podcast, which is really disappointing. I mean, this is very disappointing for us because we're just starting up, and
we've been doing this for a little over a year.
We've been doing over a year, and we apologize to you. We collectively, as a group, RSN Wrestling Podcast, we apologize to you guys for this inconvenience. But for those of you joining us now, we're here talking about SummerSlam, which is going to start at 7 o'clock today. Only on, may I say, and I'll give credit where it's due, on the WWE Network. This is, again, we're not making any profit for this. We're not making any money off of this. We're not selling this. We're not doing anything that involves us getting a paycheck from this. We are definitely doing this just for commentary purposes.
We do this because this is something we enjoy, and you fans enjoy it also. The sport of wrestling.
Like you said, exactly. Because we enjoy we enjoyed wrestling. We like it and everything like that. I don't care who it is, if it's WWE, if it's YouTube, hell, even if it's you, Google. It doesn't matter. If you're listening to me right now, Google, YouTube, WWE, whatever. Fuck all of you. If you're going to delete our podcast, go fuck yourselves. Because guess what? We can find another site. We can find another kind of outlet where we can do this. If you guys are going to limit us, there's no point. And, I mean...
and you know what? I've been holding this in for a few podcasts. There's people out there streaming full episodes of Raw, SmackDown, TNA Impact, NXT. You guys don't take them down. But you take us down because we're doing a prediction, a preview, or review. And you just want to go ahead and take us down? Get the fuck out of here. Go after the people who stream full episodes.
Exactly. And it's disappointing because we put in this work, we put in our effort, and then all of this is just to put us down. You're basically limiting us to do nothing, basically. That was something that we were doing creative for you guys, the fans, and basically we're being limited to a point where we can't do this. So as a result, right now, we're basically stuck to just doing a podcast like this, which, again, is an injustice to you, the fans, and also for us, because we, of course, want to offer something more than just being a regular podcast that just talks. We want to do something, bring some visuals to you guys.
We want to make it entertaining for you guys.
Exactly. We're not here to, put anybody down or anything like that. We're not here to, again, sabotage WWE, like I said in my post. We're just here to just do our commentary, talk about it, and then watch. We, again, are also consumers of WWE. We buy the shirts, the title belts, the toys, whatever you need. We buy everything. We consume everything.
We spend $300, $400 before we even sit down in our seats at your shows.
Exactly. And I'm making a personal thing right now. This is a WWE. This is the Google. This is the YouTube. I dare you. I double dog dare you to go ahead and freaking, I don't care what you want to do. If you want to ban this, you'll see what the freaking action will be. I freaking hate this right now. This isn't a threat. This is just telling you. If you guys are going to limit us, this is a very big injustice that you guys are doing. And as a result, I'm just going to tell you right now, what else are we doing wrong? Is this wrong right here where we're not even posting anything? If that's going to be the point, then what's the point of us being here on YouTube? So, again, like we said, you might try to end us. We're not ending. We're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on steamrolling. So, again, this is the RSN Wrestling Podcast. We're not stopping. We're going to keep this going over and over. By the way, course, because he's doing the coverage for the other shows. Also, he's catching up with a lot of stuff.
Nick is still a couple weeks behind.
Yep.
So he'll be caught up eventually. Hopefully by tonight, he said within a week or so. Hopefully he is, so he could join us. If not, he will be with us eventually.
Yep, and it's I mean, it kind of sucks because we're not doing a podcast with him because this is RSN after all. This is Rich, Sal, and Nick, the podcast. There's three of us, you know. So
it's not just Rich and Sal.
Yeah, it's not just Rich and Sal. It's all three of us actually. So again, we're just here to give our commentary. Again, we want to give our credit to WWE, saying that we're not doing this because we're taking any credit for anything WWE does. This is again all rights to WWE that we're talking about.
And if we want to be assholes, we could just credit them for every time we mention those three letters.
Exactly, we definitely could if we wanted to, but that's another big injustice, So that's something that's kind of messed up. But I mean,
we'll get banned for mentioning their name a million times.
Who knows? But whoever it is, all I gotta say to you is it's really frustrating and it's annoying. It's very, very agitating to hear that because we're just an upcoming podcast trying to do our job here. And if you're limiting us, that just makes us even more, limited in what we can do. So, I mean, besides all the ranting and stuff, also be sure to check out Pro Wrestling Opinion. It's a good news site. You get to see all the different reviews, the results of all the different shows.
They don't get taken down for copyrights.
They don't get taken down for copyrights, at least, exactly. And you got the line, right, Rich?
Oh, it's tagline time?
Yep, it's tagline time.
Reading is fundamental. Reading about wrestling is everything.
Yep, it's true, and it's something that
credit to Nick. Credit to Nick for that. So we don't get credit. So we don't get hit with any copyrights.
From him, right? Yeah, he's not gonna be able to do nothing, but we'll see. But he might, he might do that too. You never know. But still, we work closely with Pro Wrestling Opinion. We actually support it.
You won't do that to us, though.
Because he's one of us. He's one of us. We're one of the, as the people in PWO that we're both co-promoting. So still, it's the same thing, But
it's not even co-promoting technically.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually I mean, you could say it's co-promoting, but still, we work closely. That's what I can say.
He's our partner.
Yep, he's our partner. We're his partner also. We're here to help. He's here to help. So we're all here in this together. But nonetheless, let's move on to.
Don't sue us, Nick, please.
Well,
don't sue us for copyrights.
Yeah, please don't, please. But I mean, nonetheless, let's move on. Right now, it's happening. SummerSlam 2016, the second biggest event in WWE. It's happening right now at the live at the Barclays Center, second night in a row, and sold out. Matter of fact, and of course, that Brooklyn crowd. It's one hell of a crowd.
15,000, 16,000 or something.
More than that, I think. More than that.
So I know NXT was 15. They said.
Yeah, because they closed up, I think, the upper ring, but then.
The nosebleeds.
Yeah, they close up the nosebleeds, I think, and they move everybody down. But I think for SummerSlam, it's the whole arena, so might be more than
probably like what 20,000, probably 25.
Probably something like that. But I mean, nonetheless, it's one hell of a big event. It's becoming like a WrestleMania now, which is pretty big. Yeah, it's a pretty big. But anyway, we'll start off. Well, we can go by I think Wikipedia. Which
credit to Wikipedia for giving us the card.
Credit to Wikipedia, where it's fully, and here's another thing, it's fully available for us to see. So again, credit to them. But yeah, so we'll start off with the first match: Cesaro versus Sheamus, and a best of 7. I think a best of 7 series match.
Yeah, this is the first match.
This is the first match of the 7 series. I think this is a great idea because we haven't seen this in a while.
And this is actually the first time they're doing a 7.
Yeah, this is the first time that they've actually done, like a 7 series. This is matter of fact, you're right.
But it's best of 3, best of 5.
Yeah, the best of 5 was I think with John Cena and Booker T, about 10 years ago, I guess.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while now. So I mean, it's pretty interesting and it's kind of fresh to see this happen again. But I mean, nonetheless, you got 2 big stars, 2 big upcomers. You got the former world champion Sheamus.
Someone who should be
Cesaro,
champion.
The champion of the Cesaro section. Cesaro.
Someone who should be the champion, though.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going for a 7 series, someone has to get wins, someone has to get losses. So this one is really up to chance.
Start it, I think the first win probably will go to Cesaro.
Cesaro, because he's a favorite. Yeah, because he's a favorite in Brooklyn, I think. Because that Brooklyn crowd, they love Cesaro. I remember last year they went crazy. They went berserk for him.
Yes, they did. I remember.
Yeah, and it's crazy that that this is happening now again with Cesaro being on the main card. Because everybody wants to be on that card at SummerSlam. So it's a big deal if you're a person can if you're a person on that roster and you really want to be able to make your point. Perfect crowd at SummerSlam at the Barclays Center. So I mean, either way, I think I agree. Cesaro should win this.
So who do you say? Who did you say?
I say Cesaro.
Okay, you gave him the win too.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, because either way, it's gonna go either way. They're gonna have wins and losses.
I think it's gonna go to 7 though.
It's definitely gonna go to 7 for sure. Because there's 2 great performers. This match that they had, and I believe it was this past. They had this match, I think, on Monday Night Raw. It was pretty big to see that this happened. It was a pretty big deal because it was 2 great performers. They put up a good fight, and then what ended up happening was there was there was a good fight feel from there because you saw 2 great performers doing what they did, and I'd say that was probably the match of the night. This is last week's Raw, I believe that happened. It's great for the new era because this is what it resembles. Next match moving on. We got Sami Zayn and Neville. This has actually been added, I believe, versus the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley. Rich, what do you have to say about this? Rich. Well, I mean, this match is pretty big, I think, because it's the Dudley Boys being in this card. Yep.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Oh, you're back, right?
I don't know what happened.
Oh,
but
shit.
From what I'm hearing, it's supposed to be the Dudleys breaking up.
Really?
And they said, I don't remember when they said they were going to do it.
Yep.
But I think this might be like the start.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely, it's going to be.
I give the win to Zayn and Neville.
Yeah, I think Zayn and Neville too, because I think Dudley Boys they debuted last year in Brooklyn, so
they re-debuted.
They re-debuted, yeah. So I mean, if they came back and they had this turn, it can happen. I mean, for a while we've been trying to see Bubba Ray Dudley.
I want him as Bully Ray.
Ray, yeah.
Credits to TNA.
Credits to TNA, exactly. And that was a perfect deal.
It's bad that we have to do that all the time. It seems like
it's really annoying now. It's like we have to, otherwise we're gonna get banned by YouTube and shit. So whatever, fuck it. But I mean that Bully Ray,
do what we have to do.
We gotta do what we gotta do. Yep. Bully Ray is that was a phenomenal character, phenomenal heel.
Oh, that was a great character.
And to see him in WWE, that's I think what everybody's been asking for. We need to have that kind of character again as an individual, possibly a champion soon.
Hopefully.
Yep, hopefully. But nonetheless, next match that's on the card.
So who do you say? Zayn and Neville?
Yeah, I say Zayn and Neville too. But next match on the card, we got a 12-man tag team match.
Which we've seen for the second time this week.
Yep. It's American Alpha, the Hype Bros, Usos versus Breezango, the Ascension, Vaudevillains. I think for this, it's another one of those matches where they're trying to involve people.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I think it's just they didn't have enough room on the main card.
Yeah.
So just throw this on pre-show.
Yeah, the pre-show, and they're just trying to stack it up, I guess. So we'll see. But I mean, this match is either way. I think they had it on SmackDown. It was kind of like okay.
I thought it was a clusterfuck.
Which clusterfuck? There's both on both sides. No,
when it was on SmackDown, I think it was just like a whole clusterfuck because it was just happening out of nowhere.
That's true, but I think this is their this is SmackDown's way of trying to
promote the tag team division.
Yeah, promote the tag team division because there's been rumors that they're gonna have their own tag titles. They're gonna have their own women's title, and they're trying to put the spotlight on this division to say that
actually, the match is happening right now.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even
Oh
realize.
yeah, because right now as we're doing this, there's actually a live pre-show going
We can't show it.
on the network, and again we can't show it because of course. But I
It's
mean,
the 12-man tag.
So what do you think is
Well,
gonna win this?
before this match starts, I say the faces, the Hype Bros, the Usos, and Alpha.
Yeah, I think same thing. Like you want the
Plus,
you
they're in
want
Brooklyn. All three are over,
yeah,
except for the Usos.
that's true. I mean, the Usos is more like a heel tag team, so
But they're really not, though. That's the funny
they're
part.
not. And they're. I mean, I think it's just they're just writing off of Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is being booed as a heel, and it's the same kind of deal right now.
Just because they're related.
Yep. I mean, I agree. I think that American Alpha, Hype Bros, and Usos will win, and this will just be another feel-good moment in that Brooklyn crowd, just to hype them up, But I mean, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something to watch though for sure. Because then after this, it'll be the main card. Before we go into the main card, there's some big matches. This is like a multi-main event actually. Because if you see multiple matches on this card, they're all main events most likely. Because you got Cena and Styles.
Which is a main event type match.
Yep. You got Ambrose and Ziggler.
Main event type match. You have Orton versus Lesnar.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Finn Balor and Seth Rollins.
Which is probably going to be the match of the night.
Most likely, because they're trying to introduce this WWE Universal title. But
and from what I'm hearing, they want to close the show with Lesnar versus Orton.
So just like last year.
Because I think something big's going to happen with Lesnar.
You think there's been rumors, actually. You've been seeing the same rumors that I've been hearing, right?
Which one?
It's a bald guy with a goatee.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
And this isn't Austin. This is his lookalike.
The original Five Moves of Doom.
The original Five Moves of Doom. Goldberg. Supposedly there's some kind of altercation going on. They're teasing for the upcoming video game. But, I mean, before we go on to that.
But I also heard another rumor, too.
What rumor is that?
With Cena versus Styles.
And what's that?
A specific dead man is supposed to be coming and interfering.
Well, that would be awesome. I think that should happen. But this early, it's kind of hard because there's been rumors that they're gonna have this title match, this match at WrestleMania, Cena and Taker.
Unless they want to build like a real long feud.
I mean, that might be a possibility, but it depends. Because Cena's getting up in age, he's having his injuries, and Undertaker, he's not that.
He's not every single week like he was.
Yeah, he's not that durable as he was. So how would they do that? But it's still something that would keep people.
Unless they try and build it, like remember what they did with Rock and Cena.
Yeah,
where they did a long term and then just throwing shots at each other every week.
Yeah, I mean that can happen for sure, but it'll be something that people will always watch out for. But
and if you think about it, if Taker does come, how big of a pop will that be?
That'd be a huge pop. Last year it was a big ass pop. They gave him a lot of respect because he put his heart and soul in that match against Brock last year. But
and the highlight of the show was that laughing thing.
Oh, that was epic right there.
That was probably the greatest moment.
Yep, it was actually a meme all of like last year. But I mean, actually, so those are like the 4 big main events. But then they have like an undercard, which involves there's like matches with the titles online and just regular matches. So they have the Intercontinental title being online, the tag team titles being online, and the U.S. title being online. With the tag titles, it's Luke Gallows and Anderson versus the New Day. And with the U.S. title, it's Rusev versus Roman Reigns. But for the Intercontinental title, it's Miz and Apollo Crews versus Apollo Crews. But below that, let's talk about the two matches that are under the card. They have a 6-woman tag match between they have a 6-woman tag match and a tag team match. That's just a traditional match basically. So they have Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and an unnamed opponent who was supposed to be Eva Marie. And on the other side, we got Enzo Amore, Big Cass, Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Well, we can start. What I think is best is if we start from those two matches, just the undercard, and then slowly go up to the other matches on the top. I mean, with this match with Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Jericho and Owens, who do you think is gonna win this? How much?
The Enzo and Cass match, I go Enzo and Cass, of course.
Enzo and Cass?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually the first time they're actually like headlining the main card of SummerSlam, where before it was just them just being on like a taping or something like that,
Well,
and it's to see them back, that's kind of big, to see them on this big card,
Yep.
So you think they're gonna win?
I still say Enzo and Cass. Just
Yeah,
for the fact they're in Brooklyn.
Well, I mean, you got the master heel. I think this master team that they're facing is like the two best heels on the planet right now. They got Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Mind you, they're both Canadian.
Okay.
Yep. And I think it's great because you got two phenomenal heels facing off against one of the biggest over tag teams in wrestling right now. And I mean, I agree. I think I'm kind of leaning towards Jericho and Owens to win because, of course, you want to see the wrestling crowd be kind of, torn and boo them out of the building because it makes them more better of a heel,
But it should be a good match, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is going to be a good match. But, hold up.
Well, that could be the tag team match of the night.
Hmm. Yeah, true. It could be. It could be. I mean, with that, I think we're torn. So you say Enzo and Cass, and I say Jericho and Owens. But, I mean, the match after that, we got probably one of the biggest controversies right now.
Which one?
It's Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and an unnamed opponent.
Well, I think I know who the unnamed partner is.
Well, before we say that, Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi are the faces in this, I believe, right?
Yes.
And Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and the mystery opponent was supposed to be Eva Marie, who got suspended. The heel team.
For Adderall.
So,
suspended for Adderall.
For Adderall, supposedly. Unprescribed Adderall, nonetheless.
Oh, it was unprescribed?
They said supposedly
it was.
Yeah, she said that she had a prescription, but the controversy was that, there was, WWE says there was no prescription and all that. And she's trying to fight that. And her husband, of course, is trying to say, oh, no, they unjustly did it. She did have a prescription. The same thing with...
he also should have minded his business because it's...
Yeah.
Like, understand, that's his girl and all, his wife, but he should never have said what he actually said. Because he kind of just, like, randomly came out of the blue and said it. Yeah,
I mean, it's also going to look bad on her now because now she is this,
She's going to be even more of a heel than she actually is.
Yeah, and also it's because now she's going to be, looked down upon because now, her husband just talked out of his ass, basically. And that looks bad on her now. So.
Because you think about it, what does he do for a living?
He's a Jew's head, right? From what I heard.
Exactly.
Supposedly he's her manager, so that might be another reason justification from his side saying, of course.
He's a shitty manager.
Yeah, I mean, it's although Eva Marie situation, we here at RSN, we all know how, we feel about Eva Marie. So
she's the best female wrestler ever.
She is the greatest one. And to see her get suspended was shocking. It was heartbreaking, It was like that was like
I don't know how the women's division is gonna last.
I don't know how. Especially now that, there are rumors that the women's title is gonna be brought to SmackDown. Like, how is that going to work with Eva Marie not being there? It's just as disappointing as WrestleMania 30 when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar. That's how disappointing it is. It's like, oh my God, we don't have Eva Marie now for another 30 days.
I haven't slept since Thursday when I heard that news.
I was shocked, and I can't wait till September 17 when she comes back. I hope the division it doesn't it doesn't go up at all. Basically, it's kind of frustrating, but nonetheless, I mean we're extremely ecstatic that she's gone.
Oh,
and we won't see her for
it was the
for a
best
whole
thing
month.
to ever happen.
Oh my God, it was gold because now we don't see her for an extra month, so that's perfect right there. They'll give more spots to people, but
so that gives her another
Rich,
month to come up with more excuses to not debut.
Yep. Rich, what about? Yeah, that's true. There's another thing with this whole teasing of coming on, the wardrobe malfunction.
Traffic.
It's like they're trying to make her a heel, but will this make her more of a heel? It's hard to say.
How much more of a heel can you make her?
And you can't really. You don't like crap, but we'll have to see from there. But you said that you knew who the person was, right? Who do you think it is?
Well, it's a rumor.
Who do you think it's gonna be?
This person showed up to New York City yesterday.
Really?
She just got cleared to come back and wrestle from her big neck surgery. Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella. As back as a heel?
Yeah.
I see that probably because of course Nikki Bella she's been out with an injury, and it's a perfect time for her to come back. Being that Brie Bella retired, so there needs to be another Bella in the ring now, and she's probably the best one.
Plus, she just got cleared to come back.
She just got cleared, exactly, and she's been in the Performance Center, I heard. So it's been a while now, so she definitely has to get back. But I think either way, this match, I don't think anybody will care. But I think Carmella's team's gonna win for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of course you got the faces, you need that,
Without a doubt, the faces are gonna win that match.
Faces are definitely gonna win. I mean, in case they go the other route where the heels win,
which would be surprising.
Yeah, and that Brooklyn crowd, you know how they get when they don't see whoever doesn't win. It's kind of messed up. They'll be they'll give their full sense of reaction, but we'll have to see. Moving on from that,
can I actually add something to that?
Yep.
I'm actually going to call how the faces went too.
How?
Which has never been done on the show.
Really?
So I'm pulling up first.
Who?
Carmella's going to win by her submission against Natalya.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that's never been done before. No one has called a win. And how? I'm doing it.
You're going to do that. All right. We'll see how it is. I mean, it's kind of, again, it's kind of hard to say. That might happen, but that's pretty bold for you to say that, man.
There's a first time for everything on the show, right?
That's true. So this is the first time then. This is the first. We'll see if it becomes true in about an hour or two.
Hey, we pulled it first with the swerve with Eva Marie, how we both said that we were highly upset.
Yep. Well, that's a sarcastic swerve that we did, so we'll see. But nonetheless, we got 4 title matches. So actually 4 on the undercard. So we got the women's title match, the United States title match, the Intercontinental title match, and the tag team title match. I'd say first, let's start with the tag team titles. The New Day versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. By the way, New Day is without Big E. What are your thoughts on this, Mitch?
I have to go with my boys from Japan.
Gallows and Anderson?
Of course. Because Bullet Club is having a weekend right now.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing.
Omega won G1.
Yep.
Young Bucks defended their titles successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole, baby, won the ROH title.
Yep.
I think, to be honest, I think Bullet Club's going to sweep. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this whole card is dependent on a whole bunch of other stuff. Because you also got to take into control the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have history with Finn Balor and, of course, AJ Styles. Depending on who wins, it's all going to be linked up to something. And I agree. I think Gallows and Carl Anderson are going to win because in the past few weeks, they've always had this whole, storyline injury with Big E and all this stuff. And then these vignettes.
I like the whole doctor thing that they did.
That shit is phenomenal. That just got me dead.
Doctor. Doctor.
It's and all those puns are hilarious. Those you know,
Testicle.
those vignettes. Yep.
The testicle references.
Yeah, the testicle references, the balls, it's hilarious. Like they just keep going and throwing shots at Big E, and it's like it's got to hit New Day somehow. So it's like it's kind of like a psychological play, like that classic the classic shit that heel does. Like it's like trying to get into the head of the face. It's the same shit here. It's like, but it's taken up to a whole nother level. But I mean, if you got to take into consideration, New Day won their World Tag titles
Almost 400 days ago.
It's been exactly a year old. So it's time, I think, for the titles to change. It has to happen. And I think that this win between Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson will lead into something for Finn Balor versus. Yeah. What happened?
Wow. I think they're about to start a nice feud.
Which feud?
Copyrights to WWE. Just so you know. The Usos, Alpha, and the Hype Bros won.
Mm-hmm.
The American Alpha was going for their finisher.
Yep.
The Grand Aptitude.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Usos blind tagged on Chad Gable and hit the Uso splash.
Really?
So now Alpha was just staring down the Usos.
I see what they're just trying to do. They're trying to target, I think, just for 2 tag teams for that spot.
So it's going to be Usos versus Alpha for the titles.
For the new titles. But it's going to be interesting, though, to see that. Because you got the NXT, like the new upcoming tag team from NXT versus the seasoned veterans, the Usos. So it's going to be interesting. But, I mean, without a doubt, they definitely need a World Tag title because the WWE Tag titles are on Raw now. So that leaves empty space. They need something, But moving on. After this, so we said we both wanted the guys from Japan to win. Bullet Club all the way. Gallows and Anderson. Too sweet all day. Too sweet all day. Our next match after this is the women's title. Sasha Banks, who's the champion, versus Charlotte.
You don't even have to ask me.
You already know, right? You got your boss shirt on?
Actually, no. I'm going Balor.
Really? Yeah, I'm going Balor too, matter of fact.
But I'm picking the boss.
I'm picking the boss too, for sure. I mean, with this, they can't. If they have her lose, that'll be very disappointing, especially in that Brooklyn crowd. Last year, of course, she had that phenomenal match with Bayley. Match of the year with Bayley at NXT TakeOver, which was a match of the weekend and the night and the year. I don't know if this match will be just like that. We'll have to see.
I actually don't think this match is going to be anywhere near what Brooklyn was, but it's going to be should be a good match.
Yeah. And also, as a matter of fact, I think Monday definitely we're going to be seeing some changes. It definitely is going to be a call-up. I have a feeling that Bayley will come up, and this will start the feud between Banks and Bayley for the title. That's another bold prediction I'm making.
Are they going to do 2 faces? Because right now, Sasha's over.
Mm-hmm. Well, they might just do like the 4 horsewomen thing.
Okay.
But you gotta think about it. The WWE has separated the pay-per-views now. Now Backlash is on September. But what's Raw gonna have? So we still gotta wait for that. They might just bring back the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view, which I don't think is a good idea.
I know SmackDown also has No Mercy.
Yeah, they have No Mercy. I think Raw has Unforgiven. And I think a whole bunch of other pay-per-views. They're bringing back old pay-per-views.
So they're basically doing the Big 4 is both shows, right?
Yep. And then the rest are just filler pay-per-views that alternate year by year.
So is it the other 8 shows are just one's Raw, one's SmackDown, they alternate?
Yep.
Okay.
Like one year is going to be Unforgiven SmackDown, one year is going to be Backlash Raw. Like this year SmackDown, next year might be Raw. You never know.
Okay. I like that.
I think that's a great format that they're doing. But it's going to be interesting to see. Plus they have to bring back these titles to make up for that. So we'll have to see what comes up from there. But moving on.
I like it, though. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal idea. I hope they continue this, and I hope they make separate titles for everything.
Well, we all know who definitely wasn't part of that planning.
We all know who, exactly.
We don't know.
The same guy that created NXT in 2010 with the challenges and them doing some dumb shit. all that stuff, competitions.
The guy who looks like a weasel.
The guy looks like a weasel with buck teeth, beaver looking fuck.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, he who shall not be named, but yet we can't mention it, you know. So again, credits to WWE, you know, for creating that character. So that's their trademark. They're bullshit. So you know we can't say nothing. But for all we know, he might have gone ahead and reported us for that. So
Possibly.
in that case, if you are watching Kevin Dunn, go fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Oh, copyrights WWE because we use that name. So fuck you, WWE. But anyway, moving on. We got
back to the good stuff.
Back to the good stuff, indeed. We got the 2 title matches. We got the United States title on line, Rusev with Lana versus Roman Reigns. And then we got Miz with Maurice versus Apollo Crews. I think both of these matches, it's going to be the same deal. Both heels will win. Both heels will go over and done. But I'm kind of leaning towards different for the IC title match, where Apollo Crews is going to win. He debuted last year. He has to win this year. So for both of these matches, I pick Miz and Rusev.
I do not.
What about you?
I think Roman's going to win.
The U.S. title?
Yeah. Because I think Rusev is going on his honeymoon.
That might be true because he's going to have some time off.
Because he's also having a wedding in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they started this feud very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, also, here's another fun fact. Roman Reigns is the only member of the Shield that hasn't won the U.S. title.
Yes,
you know that?
That is true.
Because if you think about it, if you think about it, it's Rollins won last year.
He was the double champ.
Yeah, Dean won it in his first year in 2012, I believe.
When the Shield won the tag team titles.
Yep. And now Roman is left. He hasn't won the U.S. title yet, so makes sense. I mean, it's kind of you want to see Roman win because you just hate seeing Rusev as champion. So I think most of the crowd will end up booing Roman, but when he wins, they'll still be happy with the result, hopefully. But we'll have to see how that Brooklyn crowd is. But what are your thoughts on Miz and Apollo?
I'm actually stuck because I like both of them.
Really?
Because to be honest, not that many people know this. I actually do like the Miz.
Yep.
He's just like one of those heels that you love to hate.
Uh-huh.
But I like Apollo a lot. So I go Apollo.
You think Apollo's going to win the title this year?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about this. He debuted last year at NXT Brooklyn. And now, it's a year after. He's been called up the most quickest, I think, out of anybody.
Yeah, you can probably say that.
More quicker than anybody else. Because if you think about it, Joe's still there. He's still on NXT.
Which I don't see him lasting much longer down there.
Yeah, now that he lost the title, of course, it might see him come to the main roster soon. We'll have to see. But, I mean, it's going to be something big to see that, Apollo Crews, if he does win, it's a big moment for him, especially in Brooklyn where he debuted. It makes sense. But nonetheless, let's move on to our main card. Main events.
Well, we've been on the main card, but
yep. Well, actually, this is the
actual card that the last couple matches people actually care about.
Yep, this is like the actual what people are actually paying for, what WWE actually promoted around. So it makes sense. Let's talk first about, I'd say Cena. Let's talk about the non-title matches first. So we got. Well, actually, you said that last match you think is probably going to be Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, right?
Either that or Lesnar.
Or Lesnar. So let's do this then. We'll do John Cena and AJ Styles. SmackDown and Raw. How's that? We'll do SmackDown and Raw.
Okay.
So it's gonna be John Cena and AJ Styles, Ambrose and Ziggler. So what are your thoughts? I think for John Cena and AJ Styles, beat up John Cena. What do you say, Rich?
I think something's going to happen, like someone's going to come out or something, but I go AJ.
I disagree. I don't think anything's going to happen. Maybe until tomorrow. Maybe something tomorrow might happen because usually the Raw after SummerSlam is usually the big thing, So I think if anything happens, it's going to happen tomorrow. But nonetheless, I think AJ Styles definitely will win this.
No, not
And then we got our next match. Dean Ambrose, who's a champion, versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE World Title. I'm kind of leaning towards Ziggler to win because he's had shot after shot after shot, and he's never won the WWE title. So it makes sense for him to win tonight.
That is true.
What about you, Rich?
I agree.
What do you say? So you agree that Ziggler should
No,
win?
I agree with what you said, but I'm leaning towards Ambrose.
Ambrose.
Just because I'm
The
part
dude?
of the unstable crew.
Unstable crew. The dude, right? You're going with the dude?
Yep.
I mean, with this, it can go either way. I think it'll still be a phenomenal match because you got two hard workers, and it's kind of surprising.
Think about it. I don't think fans would care with any outcome, whether
That's true.
Ziggler wins or Ambrose. I don't think the fans would be upset with any win.
It's one of those matches, a situation where it's like
it's one of those matches that no one really cares because it's going to be a great match no matter what.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're expecting for. We're expecting.
And if you think about it, a lot of the matches we predict, a lot of them are we don't care because we know it's going to be a great match.
We know it's going to be a great match, exactly. But
Just
then
like
there's some
yesterday,
matches. Yeah.
Nakamura versus Joe, we didn't care.
Mhm.
Rude and Cien, we knew it was going to be a great match.
Yep.
But this is going to be one of those matches.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah, I think it's one of those matches where it's like, it could go either way.
But if I had to pick, I would go with the dude.
The dude?
If I had to pick a winner, I say the dude.
Really? I think it's just time. It's time for Ziggler to win the WWE title. He's had this shot many, many times.
Well, he has won it.
Well, he's won the world title, not the WWE title.
Yeah. I'm saying he has won the title.
Yeah, he has. But, I mean, it's been a long time for him to come back. So this is a perfect opportunity for him. Because you got to look, in the past 4 or 5 pay-per-views, he's been facing who? Baron Corbin over and over, and he's lost, right?
Speaking of Corbin, he just showed up on the pre-show.
Really? What's he doing there?
Just talking.
I feel like...
Wow.
I feel like...
He was supposed to have a match tonight.
Really?
Apparently, Kalisto backed out of the match.
No, I think it was because he attacked him, I think, on SmackDown or something. Probably that's why. They're starting this storyline deal with these two. But
I personally don't like this feud.
Well, I think for sure, speaking of Baron Corbin, I think Baron Corbin is going to be involved in the title picture very soon. He's a top heel now. And it makes sense for him to be in that picture now. So they might make him champion soon. But, I mean, nonetheless, either way, Baron Corbin is probably going to be next in line for a title shot.
I don't think this quick.
I mean, there have been times where they haven't done that, but there have been times where they're trying to change it up, and they might happen. Because when I'm hearing
think about it, there hasn't been many people to just get thrown into the picture right when they debut. There's only a few.
That's true, yeah. But it's always, I mean, what I'm hearing is that Vince is very high on Baron Corbin. Because if you think about it, like, for example, look at Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've got Tyler. He just came up and got shit on.
Yeah, he got shitted on. Look at Neville. Neville came up. They gave him this. They kept all.
Vince wanted to make him like a Mighty Mouse character.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse. Yeah, like an underdog or something. And look where he is now. He's like in the undercard now. And it's,
he just came back from injury, so I think they're just trying to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, so I think this is just like a waiting out period for him. But with Baron Corbin, they're fully confident. Like, it seems like they're fully confident with him to be in this spot. Why?
Because he's copyright credit to Vince and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But Baron Corbin is Kevin Dunn and Vince's wet dream.
That's true. I mean, they're probably seeing him as another Roman Reigns. Because now Roman Reigns,
built,
a former Golden Gloves champion, Golden Glove champ.
He's an talker,
and an NFL player. So of course, they love it.
He's an talker.
Yep. I mean, it's they definitely have plans for him. We'll have to see. But that moves on to the Universal title match and the main event: Lesnar versus Randy Orton, Raw versus SmackDown. So first, let's start off with the Universal title match. So going back a few weeks back, after the draft, The brand split happened. Dean Ambrose walked out with the title on SmackDown. That leaves Raw with no world title. Then there was
they had a mini tournament.
A mini tournament, and then they made the announcement for the WWE Universal Championship. There were many different designs that they were planning, that were coming out.
I still go, the design should be the one Shane McMahon had.
That was a phenomenal design, I think, yeah.
The giant aluminum foil shaped as a U.
Yep.
I think that would be great.
It's personalized. It's perfect.
It's original.
Yep, it's original too. If I had the time, I would have shown you the actual belts right here on the screen. But I guess we can't because, we're limited in what we can do. But there was rumors that it's going to be the same title as the WWE title, just with the Universal on the bottom and then with the red plate on the back.
Ooh.
And from what I heard, it's red place, red everything. And then
it's
for the SmackDown stuff?
It's the Eva Marie classic. All red everything.
All red everything, exactly. They might be trying to do that. And then they have the world title be all blue. So in the back it'll be blue. Everything else
I actually like the title that Dean Ambrose has.
Yeah, I think that's pretty, it defines the world champion, basically. But also you got to go back to Vince. He thinks that, he made this famous quote in JR's podcast. JR said this. He said, you can either be pregnant or you're not pregnant. You can't be half pregnant. It's the same thing. It's like either if you're in the draft and there's two different brands, they have to be separate in every aspect. They can't be the same. So if it became lazy and said, all right, let's just make the WWE Universal title the same as the world title, just different colors, that's not really making it the different, It kind of seems like they want to have a different belt altogether. You agree with that? Huh, Rich? You're Rich. Well, I mean, it's something big, at least, to see that, you're there, right? You're there, Rich?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, that's cool.
I muted for a second. I had to sneeze.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to sneeze. So.
Really? What do you think about it, then? You think it'll be a separate world title, or will it be just that title?
I think it's going to be separate.
A separate world championship?
Yeah. Because you think about it, it's going to be boring having the same look for both titles.
Yeah, and I think marketing-wise, too.
What's going to be different? One's going to be red, one's going to be blue. It's boring.
Yeah, and I think it's just also marketing, too. They want to, they want to sell as many belts as they can, right? So if you just have the same title, it's kind of stupid, to have just a red belt and a blue belt. It's kind of like stupid. So why not just make a separate title and sell separate off of that? So it makes sense, kind of, But moving on to the match, I know who you're going with for this one. It's the Man, Seth Rollins, versus the Demon King, Finn Balor. What do you say?
The Demon.
The Demon King?
Of course.
I'm wearing a Finn Balor shirt right now, and I agree. I think Finn Balor's probably going to walk out with this title too, because I think there's going to be shenanigans, and somebody will interfere for sure. I think the club, I think that Gallows and Anderson will definitely come out. They'll definitely do something.
Unless WWE wants to pull a giant swerve.
Yep.
You have the club
unless they have someone else.
No, you have the club come out and side with Seth.
That might happen too. I mean, we were talking about this too, where there might be a
giant swerve.
Yeah. Imagine if there's like a double turn. They might also have Finn Balor turn heel, win by shenanigans, and then the club reunites there. Yeah, as a heel.
Me and you said that before.
Yeah, and then Seth Rollins turns into the face. That might happen too. You never know. But I mean,
all I know is I think something big will happen in that match.
Yeah, between these 4 matches, something big has to happen. Either someone's going to interfere, someone's going to show up, or something's going to happen. But speaking of that, Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton.
Viperville versus
Suplex City. I'm actually leaning towards Randy Orton to win.
I think so.
Yeah, because I mean, well, Brock has had a streak at SummerSlam, if you think about it, because in 2014 he beat um he beat
He
what's it
didn't.
called?
He didn't beat. He didn't beat Cena.
He beat Cena.
He
Oh,
destroyed Cena.
He destroyed Cena. My bad. He destroyed him. In 2013, he faced, I believe it was, he won that match, I think, too.
Yeah.
He won in 2013. 2014.
And it was a good match too.
It was a good match too, indeed. And in 2014, he faced, what's it called? Cena. Of course, he won the title. 2015, he faced The Undertaker, which seemed like one of the biggest challenges. We actually thought that Undertaker was going to win, but of course, Brock prevailed. And now they have this match. I mean, this is a match in a long time coming, because they both started out in the OVW. And, Randy Orton, for example, he's had a streak too, kind of, because in 2013...
Did they both come up around the same time?
They did, yeah. 2000, I think. But you also got to take in the fact that also Randy Orton's winning record too. Randy Orton won. He won.
He was the youngest.
Yeah, he was the youngest world champion. He won in SummerSlam. So did Brock Lesnar, I think. They both won titles on the same pay-per-view. So it's one hell of a build to see that. Yeah, but I think it's one of those matches where it's like,
this is what,
whatever
15
happens.
years in the making, I think they said.
15 years in the making, indeed. One won the title in SmackDown. One won the title in Raw. In their young careers.
I think they're both
it's kind of crazy. Yeah, they're both the youngest world champions, respectively, in each division. So it's, I think Randy Orton's going to win simply because of the fact that Brock Lesnar's streak is going to be broken, and this will be turned into a big feud between Orton and Brock Lesnar. This won't be just one night. This will be going until WrestleMania, probably.
Well, I disagree because of the rumor that me and you both said.
Mm-hmm. With Goldberg?
I think this is going to lead to a Goldberg-Lesnar feud.
Well, I mean, here's the thing that kind of gets me.
That was a great match at WrestleMania.
I mean, that was a phenomenal match, yeah. I mean, where, the whole crowd was booing because they knew that this was their last night. And it's kind of like unfinished business. They have to, finish that. But it's also something else. If you've seen Stone Cold's recent podcast with Goldberg, it seemed like Goldberg had this thing where he said, fuck WWE, I don't want to be in wrestling. He kind of forgets it. He says, I don't want to be a part of it. Understand that now WWE is different. It's not the same as it was before, where you need to be committed. You can be a part-timer and still be, someone big. So
and if you think about it, the only one who could actually do that, be a big part-timer, is Taker.
Taker, yeah.
But that's also because we all know his condition.
That's true. But
he's not as fit as he was back then, where he could perform every single pay-per-view.
I think it's the same thing with Goldberg too, because Goldberg, he's kind of getting up there in age too.
But he's in shape.
He's in shape, but still,
That's the only difference. He's in shape.
But he hasn't had he's not interested in wrestling though, from what I heard. And another thing,
it's just he does those little bullshit companies that House of Glory or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that he worked in the Congo. He wrestled there, and the government actually paid him to wrestle. So there's a demand. There's one hell of a demand. They actually want him to wrestle.
Yeah.
And for WWE, I think this whole thing with 2K, every star that's been aligned with 2K has at some point gone to WWE. Because if you think about it, for example, Brock Lesnar, 2012. He started with that, and then he ended up being on the roster. 2013, I think it was with Bruno. Bruno came back to WWE, was inducted. 2014, Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior eventually tied up the knot with WWE, and they made up with everything in the past. They created bridges, and they made a connection with them. And then 2015, of course, they had, what's his name?
All do we know is it's one person?
With Sting, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Punk.
She does that to me. She's
no, it wasn't Punk. Oh, yeah, Punk too, yeah.
Baby, you okay, baby?
I was saying, if they actually get him, that will be something big.
Yeah, I mean, but but Punk, there's like this whole deal going on with,
But he's with UFC, which for him to debut.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that September 10th he's gonna start.
He's pulling Eva.
What happened?
He's pulling the Eva Marie.
Really?
Every month he has a different excuse.
Well, I mean, it's legitimate. From what I'm hearing, it's either he gets injured or something happened.
Yeah, but he
Well, what-
legit gets injured
Yeah.
because
That's
he's
true.
always training.
Yep. And I mean, this is a first for him. He recently had like a documentary series
It's
where
on
he was talking
YouTube.
about it. Yeah, it's on YouTube, and it's going through his life about wrestling and UFC and preparing for it. I think that it's the same kind of thing with Brock, where they look at him, they say he's a professional wrestler, he can't do it, and they kind of say he's not gonna be able to do it. He's not gonna be able to pull off that after having no experience, being so old. He can't do it. But I mean, it might change. You never know. Personally, I think that's not gonna happen. Only Brock's the only guy that can do that. CM Punk can't do it, I think.
That is true.
But I mean, nonetheless, that's the SummerSlam card. We're here basically again. We're giving credits to WWE. All credits to WWE. This isn't our program. We don't make any money off of this. We're not trying to sabotage WWE by doing this. We're giving our review, our commentary, and again, passion. But anyway, fuck you, WWE, for removing our videos. And again, I dare you to remove our video because we clearly didn't do anything wrong. We're giving you credit. I don't understand why you or WWE or Google would do this, which is kind of disappointing.
Well, fuck WWE. Fuck Kevin Dunn.
Fuck
Do you want to
Google.
remove
Fuck
us? Do you want to remove it? Go ahead.
Indeed. Because just know that we'll find something else.
We'll
somewhere
find we'll find a website that actually appreciates us.
Exactly. Or we'll find something that is an alternative that can give us more freedom in what we can do. But nonetheless, this is the Arson Wrestling Podcast. Be sure to check out the Facebook page, YouTube page. Also,
Check
be
out
sure to
check out Nick's website, prowrestlingopinion.com.
What's the tagline?
Reading is fundamental. Reading about wrestling is everything.
You got it.
Copyright
There you
Nick.
go. Copyright Nick, indeed. And Pro Wrestling Opinion. Be sure to check out the site. Fun fact, I was actually watching Lucha Underground earlier this year. And matter of fact, I looked at it, I said, oh, you know what, I can't watch this. I got school and shit. So then what happened was I went on the site, saw one of the reviews of Lucha Underground, picked out any review, just said, all right, let me just see what's going on. Read about it and said, oh my God, this is interesting. Like, I got to go back. The way Nick does it, he breaks it down clearly.
He gives you a play-by-play, segment by segment.
It's very, very descriptive. So if you go on there, you'll actually get interested, and it'll actually get you fully interested in actually reading about it and actually seeing the show more.
I basically had the same thing as you. I was at work one day. I came home. I was tired. I missed SmackDown, which I'm actually very upset because now SmackDown is becoming very big. I went on his site. I read it. I'm like, oh, wow. Didn't know that.
It actually gets you more and more interested in watching the program too, because let's say if you're at work, you can always watch the WWE. You can, again, this is probably a knock on WWE, but fuck WWE. If you go on WWE.com, they'll give you everything, but they'll spoil it for you. What Nick's site does is
They basically get
just
right to
breaks
the
down.
point.
They get to the point, but they don't do it in a way where it's giving everything away. It gives you what you want to know and what you're trying to get. That's all they're trying to get.
Perfect example. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. When they had their little feud going, you missed one episode of Raw. You go on his site. Nick basically breaks down the whole match.
Yep. I mean, it's a phenomenal tool, something that you guys should use at your disposal. Be sure to check them out on Facebook too. Give us a like, subscribe for them too. For Wrestling Opinion again. But also, be sure to check us out on SoundCloud too. We have some stuff up there on SoundCloud.
Which might
A couple of
be
podcasts.
there permanently.
Yep, and we'll probably be doing more stuff there, if anything. But nonetheless, podcast. This is our SummerSlam preview. Thank you for sticking with us. We'll see you guys out.
See you guys.
This is the big guy. This is the big guy and the mastermind. We'll see you guys out.